Time now, though, for some more of our favourite hot shots from the tournament so far. We'd love to hear from all of you watching at home or even here in the arena. If you see a great shot in any of today's matches, and you're bound to, do let us know your pick of the bunch by joining the conversation at #HoldingCourtLive. We look forward to hearing what your favourites are. Here are our latest picks.
Good stretch. Roger Vasselin looking sharp there. He's definitely picked up his intensity since the first day and picking off a few balls, but ultimately too good from Roger Vasselin.
That is miraculous. What hand-eye coordination to pull that one off. He hits it with his left hand.
That last one was from last night's match. Andy Murray coming through in straight sets against Milos Raonic. Colin Fleming has now joined us on the set. Colin, you were commentating on that match last night. It was a much better performance from Murray, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You know, I thought he played well, considering what was riding on the match. It was a real pressure situation for both players, and Andy, I feel like he's got more improvements in his game. He can play better than that, no doubt, but what I was really impressed with was the intensity of his competing out there. He really, you know, rose to the occasion, and you know, he was chattering away to himself a little bit, but it was in a way, it was a passionate way. It was like a way to show I'm really up for this match. I want to win every point. So a great response from Andy Murray, as we've come to expect from him. What did you make of Andy's performance yesterday, Miles?
Great. As Flemmer was said, he brought the energy. Just want to bring up that they said I was sitting on the fence, but I did say he would respond to a crisis, and he did. And you know, that's what his whole game's about. He's so talented. He's got so many different facets. As long as he's committed to how he plays, and I think Raonic forces that out of him because of his style. He did that. He was energized. He wanted to win. He got the crowd on his side. It was a really great performance.
Yeah, indeed. And Arvin, did you sense that now, Andy? I mean, it was a flat start, that first match, which it just didn't work for him, did it? In that first defeat. Do you feel now he's just sort of got into the groove a bit here?
Yeah, I think he's going up the gears nicely. Yeah, he responded well, as all the great champions do. They respond to poor performances, and that's exactly what he did. I thought he got his tactics right. It was obvious to see that he was actually trying to get Raonic into his forehand side early on and then get into the backhand. He was changing direction of his shots quite comfortably. I think he varied his serve nicely, especially in the second set where you felt Raonic was starting to be a bit more aggressive on the returner serve, so Andy felt like, well, I can't give him the same look every time, I've just got to mix things up. Yeah. But unfortunately for Raonic, when the pressure was really on, he threw in a couple of bad games. So the one at 5-all, yes, Andy, there was just genius at the start of that game, we just saw that, but after that, he kind of felt that Raonic just let that one slip, similar to what happened against Federer in his first match.
Yeah, it was unlucky for Raonic. I felt sorry for him. It wasn't a pleasant experience for him, really, again, for a second consecutive match. But Andy will now face Roger Federer tomorrow. Roger coming through in straight sets again against Kei Nishikori. And Roger, I mean, he's always looked great, but he's looking in imperious form, Colin.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Particularly in his first match against Raonic, I thought he looked really sharp, and he spoke about how the walk-on here, the reception he got from the crowd, how that really energised him. And the first set of that match, he almost looked untouchable. In his second match yesterday against Nishikori, I thought he was firmly in control of the match, but maybe didn't have to really play as well as we know Roger Federer can. So it's a really exciting match, isn't it? Andy Murray versus Roger Federer tomorrow evening here at the O2. I mean, they've got such a great rivalry across their whole careers. They played so many big matches, and this is just another one to add to the list, and so much to play for. I mean, anything can happen in that group. Andy could beat Federer and go out of the tournament. He could beat Federer and win the group, so it couldn't be, you know, any more to play for in that group.
I mean, there's two. We talk about Murray's energy. There's two matches where Federer's really brought it out of him. We talked the other day about the match in Shanghai when Andy had actually qualified already in his group, so it was a dead match, but he still went out, got caught up, and the crowd were into the crowd in Shanghai was sometimes a little bit subdued, but they were going nuts there. It was 6-4 in the third, and he actually wore himself out a little bit. And here one year they played, and and it was such a that they came out, and he came out so fired up that he actually had a bit of a letdown after he won the first set. So we were talking about coming up energized and intensity. He may actually have to just temper that a little bit to make sure it doesn't sort of all burn out in the first the first set as it did the last time they played here.
Yeah, indeed. That's tomorrow.